Hi, Jewells68 here for Talk to Me Tuesday on Tuesday, September 23rd. First day of fall, right? So happy autumn to everyone. Got a few things kind of juggling at the moment. I have to go out of town for work. It looks like the week of Halloween. So my daughter's latest cosplay costume that I am needing to work on, I've gotten started on. Mainly with going to the thrift store to see, to try to get as many of the items from the thrift store as I can so that I can just reconstruct them into what they need to look like. I will insert a picture. She's doing a character from one of her favorite video games, and I will insert a picture, my reference picture that I'm using to find the items here. So I went on a thrifting run this past Sunday. I went to both Savers and Thrift Town, and already found a hat which should be perfect. I just need to remove this band here, which is just sewn on right here and here, so that's not a problem, and replace it with the skinniest end of this necktie, which is a good match for what we see in the picture. So I have that much done so far. I also happened upon these plaid pants, which hopefully are big enough, but they're not quite the right color. They really need to be a teal plaid, more of a teal or a turquoise, really more of a teal. This is green and blue and black. So not quite there, but that's sort of like my emergency backup plan, because they were $1.99 and they looked to be close to the right size. So there's that. So we've got that much done so far. I kind of figured I would have an easier time finding the coat, but none of the thrift stores really have much in the way of coats out yet. I went to Savers and Thrift Town mainly because they generally have a pretty good selection of like uniforms and coats and things throughout the year, so I was kind of surprised. So they may just not have that stuff out yet. We will see, or maybe they're low on donations, who knows. The other thing I have going on is I brought all that donated fabric back from Project Linus, and so I immediately started working on a baby quilt using one of the bags had 8 of these 7.5-inch blocks. They're not exactly the same, but they're all in those blues. And I dug through my Project Linus bin of fabric that I already had here that I brought from previous donations, and I found this fabric that I was able to get 4 7.5-inch squares cut out of. The remainder is all narrow strips, so I can't use those. And then I made some 7.5-inch strip set blocks from some fabric I had left from my birthday block swaps. I try to keep a decent selection of what colors people request, and the first year I joined, I had to buy quite a bit of fabric because I didn't, fat quarters and like a roll up of fat eighths, that sort of thing, because I really didn't have that much stash wise. That was 2 years ago. So this is my 3rd time doing it, and I still have a lot of the same fabrics left. This is part of my browns, because it seems like Kat almost always chooses something with brown, so I had quite a bit of brown in there. So she'll recognize this, because this has been used in blocks for her over the last couple of years. And so I'm putting those together. I've already got the layout figured out, but I'll wait until I have that top piece before I show that. I also started a new crochet blanket for Project Linus using some of the donated granny squares that I still have left from that giant bag of granny squares. And I had a bin where I had put together all of the ones that were red, black, white, thinking I could put together a blanket, because our University of New Mexico colors are those, so just like my colleges were, so Ross, so same mascot too, they're the Lobos. Anyway, I didn't have enough. After I started putting them together, I realized this isn't going to work because there's nowhere near enough squares here. So I had to dig around, and I found a couple more white ones in one of the other bags of squares, but that was it. There was only one red, one blue. I added the blue just because I needed another square, and I thought the single red would go with having the single blue. I wanted to do all of the crocheting of the squares together with the black. However, I ran out after I got the individual squares crocheted into rows this way, which you can see going across. They're each connected with black. So when I went to go sew the rows together, or crochet the rows together, I realized I didn't have enough black to even get across one row. So I had to check and see, and I tried the red, but it was a different enough red that when it was right next to actually touching the red in the center there was just no way it was gonna, it just bothered me too much. Someone else probably wouldn't care, but I could see it, and it was bugging me. So I came and dug through my personal yarn stash and found this dark gray that I used to crochet all the rows together, and I had exactly enough to crochet these rows together. Like, I ran out exactly at the end of the last row. So I think my tail is a couple inches longer than it usually is, so basically I had like 2 inches extra, and that was it. So I ran out of the gray, so now I'm starting to go around with the red to tie all of it together. And I was hoping to make a little bit bigger blanket, so I don't know, I probably won't though. I'll probably just go around once with the red, and maybe go around once with white, and then go around with red again, and that's probably it, because I still have quite a bit of white left. So that should be done, hopefully, in time for the October meeting. And then one thing I forgot to show you was on that one I'm putting together out of these blocks that I put together. I already have a backing for that, and that came from my mom's stash of fabric. And there's like a little under 4 yards, I think it's like 3.5 or 3 3/8 yards of this blue and white stripe, which I thought would be perfect for a backing anyway. So that'll be the back, and if I have to make it wider for some reason, I still have some more of this fabric that's like strips, so I can always just add, like, do a pieced backing with a strip here and a strip there of those. And I guess that's it. Oh, I forgot to put the border on that quilt top is going to be the green of the Project Linus fabric that I have. So it'll use that up. So I'm trying to use up stuff that I've got here. Managing to do that quilt top without having to buy anything, and hopefully I'll be able to do the whole quilt, because I still have enough batting, I think, left to do that. Hopefully it's big enough. From the batting I grabbed at Project Linus when I was working on the charm quilt. So I guess that's it. I let Kat know that last Friday I shipped the first of her 2 packages, into which I split up her Christmas in August prize, and I also put her birthday blocks for this year. Since her birthday is late in October, I went ahead and put her birthday blocks in the first package. I probably won't send the second half of that prize until probably towards the end of October. I'm going to try to get it sent before I go out of town, but if not, I'll send it out early in November. And that way she'll have all of the Christmas stuff and plenty of time to still do something with it. And I guess that's it. I look forward to watching your videos, and I hope everybody has a great crafty week. Bye!